wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me.
What's up out there, friends and family? It's your boy, the motivational teacher to the masses, bringing you one of these Motivational Mondays on a Tuesday night. I'm so excited to be here with you all. Hope your week is off to a very fast and productive start. I'm starting to see eyes come in the room. If you come in the room, shout your boy out. And if you would, please, anybody that you want to go with you on this journey, they need to grow with you on this journey. So please get in the chat box, share this to 4 or 5 people. I'm about to do the same. Anybody to get an invitation from me, just know that I value you and I appreciate you. And for all my replayers, give me about a minute and a half as I share this out to all of my 5 that I want to go with me. Hey, Vaniqua, we missed you on Sunday at the at Bridge of the Nations. I'm glad you're here tonight. Hey, Mom, thanks for joining us. And I'm about to share this out to my outlets. If you all would do the same thing, copy, tag, however you do it, please do that for me, please. It would mean the world to me. This past Sunday, we had probably the most eyes we've had since COVID on Bridge of the Nations. It would be beautiful if we could do the same thing again here tonight. So if you all would, please help a brother out. Share this to as many people as you possibly can and let them know that the motivational teacher has gone live and we're about to commence to some bread breaking. I must say, man, that I've been getting, hey, Jacqueline, thanks for joining us. Hey, Angelique, the artist, thank you for joining tonight. I got to say, man, from this past Sunday, I've gotten so much positive feedback and about how lives are being changed from this past weekend. And I sort of want to continue that thought of what we had going on this weekend. So if you all would, please go ahead and tell your mama, your cousin, them that the motivational teacher is about to go live. Let me share this out to my top 5. And I hope that you're doing the same because I would love to see north of 30 or 40 eyes tonight. So if you all could help me out, get your top 5 on here along with my top 5. And we are about to turn this thing out. That would be so helpful. All right. I am done. Sin. All right. I've been on Facebook. Yeah, I've been seeing you on Facebook, Angelique. Angelique gave me a good idea about working with some of my older videos. So, Angelique, I was actually doing that today, listening to, like, we're on episode 160. I got to tell you, it's some fire content. I listened to episode 86 today. It is some fire content in these 160 episodes of Awaken Your I Am. I got to break bread. What's up, Kennard? Thanks for joining us, bro. I got to break bread. Like, there's so much content in the midst of this Awaken Your I Am series that I'm doing that you could go back and just randomly pick a video, and I guarantee you it will speak to you for this day right here. And tonight should be no different. Episode 160, Awaken Your I Am, y'all. This started off as one thought. It started off as one thought. And as I was going back, Angelique, and listening to some of those older videos, it brought me back to the place of where I started this series. And I started this series with the notion, with the point of episode 1, with the point that man only has one problem. Man only, Homo sapien, male, female alike, we only have one problem. And that's seeing ourselves how the great I am sees us, how God sees us. Man has no other problem in his life other than understanding and recognizing himself as how, or herself as how the great I am sees them, or sees him, or sees her. That's the challenge for a lot of us. It's not the fact that I don't have the education. It's not the fact that I don't have the looks. Thank you, Charles. It's not the fact that I don't have the money. It's not the fact that I don't have the access. It's not the fact that I don't have the resources. Truth of the matter is that man cannot and does not see him or herself as God sees them. As the great I am awakens our I am. That is the only challenge. That is the only problem. That is the only flaw. That is the genesis of all the situations. In the beginning, come on, Kennard. Come on, Kennard. We lack the ability to have faith. Hey, Auntie, we lack the ability to be able to see and hear and speak as the great I am who awakens our I am. I'm going somewhere tonight. The topic of this episode 160, I know we're doing Awaken Your I Am. Hey, Elkie, I know we're doing Awaken Your I Am, but the general topic of tonight's conversation is external stimuli. The topic of tonight's conversation is external stimuli. It's going to take me a second to set this up, but I promise you, I'm going to get into external stimuli. Man has but one problem. Man has only but one issue, and it's seeing himself as or herself as the great I am sees him or her. If I could only understand how to see myself through the lens of which the great I am sees me, it will solve all my problems. In the beginning, I'm going back to what Kennard just said. In the beginning, he created us perfect. In the beginning, he gave us our roadmap to how we live upon this earth. In the beginning, we're made in his image. We're made in his likeness. The more I understand about the great I am, the more I understand about my awakened I am. I'm breaking bread right now. Trust me, I am coming right to your house in a minute. Go tell your grandmama them. Go tell your cousin them. Go tell your sister them to hop on this live, because I promise you, by the end of this live, I'm going to give you all the authority back in your life to create whatever it is that you had on the inside of you before the foundation of the earth. Episode 160, y'all better tell y'all people, holler at your boy. I've been at this a minute right now. Let's get back. Seeing ourselves. And see the true challenge between a male, female, Homo sapien. Hey, Pat, thanks for joining us. The true challenge between that a male or a man, a Homo sapien, male, female, alike that we have is that we live somewhere between our humanity and we live somewhere in between our deity. The true challenge is which one of us at any given moment will lean more toward our humanity, or will we lean more toward our deity? See, there's some people that think we are earthly beings, that we were brought here. Our final destination is on earth, and what I do on earth ultimately determines, what I do for the rest of my life. Come on, man, I'm going in. But I'm telling you, we are not earthly beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having an earthly experience. Come on, man. I'm coming somewhere. I'm going into external stimuli. But if you don't understand who you are, we'll never be able to make the right decision in the midst of external stimuli, because we'll make decisions from a person that lives from my humanity, and my deity does not dictate my decisions. If I don't understand who I am, if I don't understand whose I am, I will make decisions based on what this dirt suit says do. Before I can get into external stimuli, I gotta get you to see you for who you are. Oh, that's a bread breaking moment. What I go through does not determine what my manifestation, my expectations of my life. What I grow through determines my manifestation and the expectations for my life. Two people could grow up in the same house. One could go to prison, the other one could be an attorney. They grew up in the same house, same time, same two parents, same external stimuli. One just processed it differently. I didn't see it as it was. I saw it as something different. They get two different experiences in the same house, and they get totally different manifestation. How motivational teacher? Because I'm telling, what's up, Devon? Thanks for joining us, bro. Come on, Vanika, bread broker. Because I'm telling you, it's not about what you go through. It's about how you see yourself in the midst of it and how I grow through. Come on, Terrence. I got Terrence. Good comment, chime this conversation. If you don't understand who you are, you confuse yourself as to what your purpose is on this earth. Terrence, that's a bread-breaking moment. And the challenge for most of us, since we don't know what our purpose is, anything that we don't know the purpose of, we tend to abuse it. If I don't know the purpose of my life, I would lend my members and my beings to drug use, to alcoholism, to bad decisions, to stealing. I would misuse my number one commodity that God has given me is my time. If I don't know the purpose and the value of my life, I will misuse my time. If I'm misusing my time, then I'm devaluing my life. Boy, I broke bread. Boy, I broke bread. I just broke bread right there, man. I'm telling you right there. Hey, come on, man, Terrence. If you don't know the purpose of your life, abuse is inevitable. The one thing I do know is that the beggar and the billionaire has the same amount of time in each day. It's about how they see themselves and how they invest their time determines their results. You got to awaken your I am. We live somewhere. Every decision. Come on, man, Angelique, I'm coming. Come on, Kanari. And sometimes we think we have too much time to get it. Not true. Not true. Every decision, come on, man, time abuse. I like that. I'm using that one, time abuse. Every decision, every thought, every action are all made from the perception or the mindset. Come on now, somewhere between my humanity and my deity. Every decision that I make, every thought that I think should be running through a filter of how do I see myself. Every situation that I encounter that could be unpleasant should be ran through the filter of my humanity, and it should be ran through the filter of my deity. Oh, I'm coming right down your house tonight. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. I've been called to the masses. I'm telling you, I've been called to the masses. Now, when I hear those, and I run that through, and I run that through my mind, and I run that through my all my members. The question is, when I bring it back, do I filter that information through my humanity, or do I filter it through my deity? See, I know come on, I think that's Pat. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What determines what a man thinks? Whether the information is being filtered through my humanity, or if the information being filtered through my deity. Let me give you a natural example. Let me give you a natural example. I call it a natural example. So you all heard me tell this story before. So here, Gideon. Y'all know Gideon in the Bible, the one that the angel called a mighty warrior, one of the most gifted warriors of Bible times. In all the Bible stories, he was one of the most gifted warriors. Gideon. I like using natural examples. I like using biblical examples. Just for this one, I want to use a biblical example, and I'll bring it back to the natural. The angel appeared to Gideon while he was hiding in a wine press and said, "Hey, mighty man of valor." Come on, man. Come on, man. Mighty man of valor. The angel called him in the midst of while he was hiding, in the midst of a famine. Gideon was a farmer, and the angel of the Lord came to Gideon and called him a mighty man of valor. Now Gideon had two options right here. Do I pass this thought through my deity, or do I pass that thought through my humanity? And Gideon's response was, mighty man of valor. He said, Gideon said, I'm the least of my tribe. I'm the least of my father's house. And even the tribe that I'm the least of is the least of all the tribes. So not only, so Gideon, the angels, and it's no, I mean, I'm using Gideon, but I promise you it's no different than me and you. We have thoughts of grandeur, like I could run this company. I could be a millionaire. I can be a speaker to millions. I could be the motivational teacher to the masses. I could have a household where my husband's the head of the house and my wife loves me like I want to be loved. I can have all these different things, but yet we pass this information that's been given to us from an angel. I mean, it comes from our deity. We take this information and then we pass it through the filter of our humanity, and we dumb down everything that we should have already in this earth. I told you last week, we have glimpses of greatness, but then we dumb it down because we pass it through our filter of humanity. He called Gideon a mighty man of valor. If the great I am calls you a mighty man of valor, why would you call yourself anything less than? That's a bread-breaking moment. I know on this Motivational Monday on a Tuesday, that question sounds so simple and it sounds like nobody would ever do it, but we do it every day. We make decisions from a place of our humanity every day. We have thoughts that run through our mind that we leave unchecked through our humanity every day. I've called you great. I've called you more than a conqueror. Why are you sitting back hiding and running from your true destiny? I called you King of Kings, Lord of Lords. Why are you running back hiding from your true destiny? I've called you the head and not the tail. Why are you still running from your true destiny? I gotta break bread tonight. I'm telling you that there is a collision somewhere between my deity, the part of me that identifies with the great I am, and that my humanity, the part of me that comes with this dirt suit. Oh, we going in tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We going in tonight. There is a great collide. There is a fight where we're not fighting against flesh and blood, principalities of powers. There's a fight that's going on somewhere between my inner, and my boy said it like this: when I want to do good, evil is present. He said it just like that. Oh, I know what I ought to do. I'm from Waverly, Alabama. I know what I ought to do. But the things I ought to do, I don't always do. Why, motivational teacher? Because there is something somewhere between my deity and my humanity that determines my thought process, my decision making, my actions that I take in a given situation. I'm going somewhere tonight. Y'all got to flow with me right now, because what's up, Ryan? I know there's greatness out there on your life. I know that you're more than a conqueror. I know everywhere your foot should trod, you shall own. I know you got dominion. I know you got power to subdue. I know you got power that if you call it what it is, that is what it's become. But motivational teacher, I don't see that in my life. There is a gap. I talked about gap management. I told you, I'm telling you, he's the God of my gaps. I told you that what's up, DeMarco? Thanks for joining us, bro. And I told you that there's somewhere in between my humanity, somewhere in between my deity, somewhere in between, there's a disconnect. And we're going to talk about that disconnect tonight. Say we at time don't take the deity route. I hear you, Kennard. We have to produce, be accountable, and manifest. Got DeMarco chime in this conversation. I have the ability to manifest and create positive outcomes in your life. You're the only person that have that power. Don't abuse your mind with foolish things. Come on, Devon. I love it, man. We got the brothers chiming into this conversation tonight. I love it, man. Stay active in that chat. Motivational teacher. The good I want to do sometimes, I don't always do. The decisions that I know that are right, I don't always make them. Motivational teacher, help me tonight. I'm going to help you out tonight. Episode 160. Go tell your mama, grandmama, and them, your friends, and them, anybody you borrowed money or loan money to this week. You need to tell them to holler at your boy and hop on this thing tonight, because bread will be broken, Angelique. I think that's Pat, spiritually versus man, somewhere someone's opinion manifests in your mind. Pat, I'm going right there in a minute. I'm going right there in a minute. See, that's why I love this community. I love this community right here because we're always thinking. We're always looking like we're having a conversation and you all are already ahead of me. Why? Because you're mentally engaged in your life. Not only you're mentally engaged in your life, but you're mentally engaged in this moment. I love this nation, these people out here, because we are on, I'm telling y'all, we're going to blink and we're going to look back 5 to 10 years and to see where all of us have progressed to. Because one thing that you've noticed about your boy, I'm showing up. I'm consistent. I'm showing up, show up, and we're going to look back over our lives in 5 years, 5 to 10 years, and just to see the journey that we've all taken together. I remember when Angelique moved across the country. Oh, I remember when Kennard started his YouTube page. He gave me the idea to start my YouTube page. Oh, I remember when Pat went through this in her life, and I saw her mindset, and I knew it was just a matter of time before she was on top of the mountain. I know with every struggle, we're going higher, ladies and gentlemen. We're going higher, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm challenging you all to make the commitment to ride this train, because I'm telling you, this stuff is good for motivation. I got some people on the other one still texting me. Hey, how's my connection? I got somebody that said my connection, I'm going in and out. Is my connection good on this side? It looked like it's good on my side. I don't see. I got all the bars up here, so I just hope it's that individual that said it's going in and out. Let me know if I'm going in and out. Let me know, because connection looks good on my side. The good thing is I got 3 different threads going on different platforms, and so I can only monitor 2 on this one, and I have to monitor 1 on my phone. I see what people said I'm going in and out right there, so I want to make sure that the bread is clear. Good on YouTube. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Auntie. Good on YouTube. Good. How about Facebook? Good over here. All right, awesome. All right, let's keep this train going. Got people chiming in this conversation. You use the God-given time to build the foundation he sets out for you to achieve. Don't feel or speak less than what he tells and what you are, and don't abuse your opportunity by letting the time pass. Come on, Terrence. Thank you for chiming into this conversation. Somewhere between the decisions that we're making, Pat said, this is not going to be, said, this food is not baby food. You got to be able to digest the truth. Nourishment for the mind and the spirit. I love that. Thank you, Pat. No, we ain't doing baby food right now. I know it's a little shortage out there. You can't come here and find no Similac. We don't have the little ground up peas over here. We bring in that bread that's good. Hey, this is almost like manna. This is good stuff. Almost like manna. So somewhere in between my humanity and my deity, like there's a disconnection. The decisions I want to make, sometimes motivational teacher, I don't make. Motivational teacher, help me. I want to talk to you tonight. And I've hinted toward this in different Motivational Mondays. And as I was listening back to these Awaken Your I Am series, I've always hinted toward it, external stimuli. Tonight, I want to go into a little bit differently, because when I see the names on here, and when I see us looking at it, when we look in the mirror, when we see us, we know what our goals, we know what our dreams are. I want to make sure that we're able to manifest the highest version of ourselves to accomplish and to attract those dreams to us. In order to do that, it's important how we embrace and how we engage external stimuli. External stimuli, and I'm going to go into it in a little bit more detail. Let me define external stimuli first. Let me define that. A stimulus is anything that can trigger a physical or behavior change. The plural of stimulus is stimuli. Stimuli can be external or it can be internal. Let me read that again. A stimulus is anything that can trigger a physical or behavioral change. The plural form of stimulus is stimuli. Stimuli can be external or stimuli can be internal. All right. So a stimuli is anything that can trigger an external or internal or physical or behavior change. All right. That's what a stimuli is. I want to make sure that we have this. So when I talk about external stimuli, or when I talk about stimuli, I'm talking about that's your the only the stimuli is the projected matter, or the stimuli is the projected um problem or projected whatever it is. It was meant to trigger a physical or behavior change. So external stimuli. So external stimuli, and I'll use this one is, my boss came in and they said they're laying off 20% of the sales force. They're laying off 20% of the sales force. All that is external stimuli. All right. It doesn't mean that I'm being laid off. It doesn't mean that my job is in jeopardy. Doesn't mean that when humans hear that information, like, we have to filter that information is filtered through two different filters. Either it goes through the filter of my humanity, and it should go through the filter of my deity. It automatically goes through the filter of my humanity because I heard this information while on earth that affects my day-to-day. All right. So it's automatically filtered through my humanity. When I hear information, or when I encounter a negative diagnosis, or when my bank account says negative $5, or my relationship with my spouse is in jeopardy, or my kids are not making the decisions that I've trained them up to do, all of these things are only external stimuli. Is anything, it was meant to trigger a physical or behavior change. It can be external stimuli, or it could be internal stimuli. External stimuli is they told me they laying off 20% of the sales force. Internal stimuli is they told me that my body had sugar diabetes. Internal. Or internal stimuli could be that I'm always telling myself that I'm not good enough. I tell myself that I'm not tall enough. I tell myself that I'm not pretty enough. I tell myself that I'm not smart enough. Internal stimuli could be that stimuli that tells me that all I needed was a degree to get the highest form of myself. There's internal and there's external stimuli, which are all driven, all created to trigger a physical or behavioral change in your life. Check your boy out now. Check your boy out now. I'm going somewhere tonight. I need you to understand that the things that I see, and I've hinted toward this, and now I got it in a lot more detail because I'm going to go over some types of responses to environmental stress. But I need for you to understand that everything, every opportunity, every option, every heartbreak, every setback was all stimuli. I was born to a house where my father wasn't in my house. Stimuli. I was born. I was created out of a rape. Stimuli. I was raped as a young child. Stimuli. I had a spirit of poverty growing up. Stimuli. Oh, I was the least in my household. Stimuli. I'm the only one that didn't get a degree. Stimuli. I'm the black sheep of my family. Stimuli. I could never have that because of how I came up. It was stimuli. Slavery. Oh my God, I'm going to say this. I know this ain't going to be popular. Slavery was stimuli. It was stimuli. Oh my God, that's a bread-breaking moment. The children of Israel roaming through the wilderness was only stimuli. It wasn't good or bad. It was only meant to trigger a physical or behavior change that could be internal or external, was never good nor bad. Not passing all my tests, or when I was taking tests to be a teacher, or not passing the ASVAB, or not passing to be the DON, like all of me not passing those tests or was not positive or was not negative. It was just stimuli. Oh my God, I'm breaking bread right now. It was just stimuli. Me not being drafted to the NBA was not the end of my life. It was only stimuli. Oh my God, I'm going somewhere tonight. Me going through a divorce in my early 20s wasn't meant to kill me. It was stimuli. Believe me, it was meant to trigger something on the inside of me. But only one person can determine how stimuli triggers. Oh my God, that's a bread breaking moment. I know I was told that I was the least of my father's house. I know I was told I wasn't most likely to succeed. I know I was told that I couldn't get it done. It was all stimuli. I remember, God, boy, I'm breaking bread. I remember when I was about to get divorced, my first marriage, I was going through bad times, and I was talking to one of my mentors. And this always stands out to me. And I was telling one of my mentors, and my life is not going right. I was making the most money I was ever making in my life. I had the most things I ever making in my life. And my life was almost like in a downward spiral. And the fact that I felt like I could not sustain it. And I told one of my mentors, I said, man, I don't know how this is going to work out. My mentor told me, Anthony, you must not be tithing the right way. You must not be tithing the right way. And man, and from that comment that my mentor made, because I'm not tithing the right way, that was just stimuli. But I became even legalistic in my tithing, that I made sure that before I did anything, there's nothing wrong with this, but I was bound to the law of tithing because of that external, if I don't tithe, my life gonna fall all apart. And even that became a stronghold in my life in itself, because if I was off by 2 days, I thought, oh, woe is me, what's gonna happen wrong next? It was never meant for me to take it that way. It was only external stimuli. When I went through that divorce, it didn't mean for me to take that I can never be loved again. It was external stimuli. How we determine, how we make decisions with external stimuli determines our ultimate success. We live somewhere between our deity and our humanity. Motivational teacher, how do I know where I live? External stimuli only reveals where you live. External stimuli only reveals where you live. Thank you, Devon. You must go through some things to have and to do a better life. But here's the reality of this right here. Here's the reality of this right here. I love it that my favorite book says a man doesn't know his own heart. But then it said God is always, the great I am is always seeking, always chasing. Who was it? When he told him, you didn't find me, I found you. I can't remember who he told that to. He told that to somebody. I've been season. No, you didn't find me, I found you. So my question is, if a man doesn't know his own heart, how does the great I am reveal a man's heart to himself? He reveals a man's heart to himself through external stimuli. Oh my God, external stimuli. When Gideon was in the wine press, it was a famine in the land. He was the least of his tribe. And here's an angel presenting him with a request that you are a mighty man of valor. And Gideon found a way to remain a mere man when I have called you to come up a little higher. And we laugh and we look at all these heroes of faith in chapter Hebrews 11. We look at the Tyler Perrys, we look at the Elon Musks, we look at the Oprah Winfrey's, we look at the Colonel Sanders of this world, and we look at them and we know the struggle, we know the trials, we know that they went through all these various tests and trials, but yet they still sit in their seat. Why? Because they realized and they recognized that external stimuli doesn't drive your results. That's a bread, man, whom the Son set free, the law of polarity, I agree. Whom the Son set free is truly free indeed. We've been looking at external stimuli as it defines us. I missed the game-winning shot, or I had the divorce, or I dropped out of school, or I had a repossession, I had a foreclosure, or my dad wasn't in the house. So that now becomes our defining moment of our life. And external stimuli was never meant to define you. Everything that Job went through then defined Job because he had a hedge around Job's life. Job had to make the decision that all this external stimuli will not make me come off who I am and whose I am. I love the fact that in life, we're going to have some ups and we're going to have some downs. But what I can tell you is that this external stimuli does not define who I am. You cannot define me by my failures. Well, I remember when you were this. You can't define me by what I was back then because my response to that stimuli was different then than it is now. You cannot and you will not define me where I was 15 years ago. You cannot, man. I am the one who was, is, and there's a version of me that is to come. You cannot define me because I didn't know how to manage stimuli at one point of my life. Oh my God, that's a bread-breaking moment. I walked away from the child that was I haven't always been the greatest father, and we got condemnation in our hearts, which limits us from being the best father we can be today because of the external stimuli. I made bad decisions, but I'm telling you right here today, the buck stops here. It stops today. Take the authority back over your life. There's no condemnation. Yep. I know I made a bad mistake back there, but I cleaned that up and I learned from my mistake and I make better decisions today because I went through what I went through yesterday. You will not hold my past over my head as a negative. I am moving forward. There's a version of me. I had some issues. I ain't running from what I did back then, but I know I'm not the same version of who I was then. So I am moving forward. And anybody that tries to use my past to condemn me, you're not meant for my future. I leave you right where you are in my past. That's a bread-breaking moment right there. External stimuli is anything that can trigger a physical or emotional behavioral change. Man, that's a bread-breaking moment right there. That is a bread-breaking moment right there. We make all of these permanent decisions based off one snapshot of a stimuli in my life. Come on, man. It's a bread-breaking moment right now. Some of us have been living underneath the shadow of one bad decision our whole life. And we've allowed this one bad decision to define how I see myself for the last 20 years. We got to change that right now. That was one set of stimuli that triggered the wrong behavior or the wrong physical change. That it could have been external in nature, but then I internalized that which was external, and that one bad decision or that one piece of stimuli that I misinterpreted or that I interpreted the wrong way, I passed it through the wrong filter, and I've judged myself the last 15 years about what I did wrong. I judge there's some of us right now that still don't have relationships with family members and siblings and cousins and former and past relationships because we judge one piece of information and we've used that one piece of information to hold people hostage for the last 10, 15 years as if people cannot grow, as if they had one. Man, listen, it's easy to miss one frame. When you're living in this world 70 years, all of us have fallen short of the glory of God at some point or another. Who am I to cast the first stone? Who are you to cast the first stone? And who is somebody else to cast the first stone at you? Release yourself. Release yourself. It was only stimuli. It was only stimuli. It was never meant for you to make your opinion about who you are from that one photo lens, that one snapshot of your life. Greatness resides on the inside of you. And Lady Queen said something so strong on Bridging the Nation Sunday. She said something so strong. The reason why some of us are fought so hard, The reason why things seem like it's so tough in our lives, because the one thing I know about the enemy and the one thing I know about haters, they see what's on you before you see what's on you. And a lot of times people are reacting to what you can be, and they want to keep you in that version of who you are today because they know you got something on your life that's special. You got something on your life that's special. And that's why they're always trying to hate against you. That's why you had all these adaptations that you had to make because of your background, that you had to go and you had to take scales off and you had to take layers off, learning how to be different, how to learn different, in order to change your personal reality, you got to change your personality. And you started learning that what I went through doesn't define me. And it takes time to take those scales off. It takes time to learn when you came from a school that was on high school that's on academic probation. You go to the Harvard of the South. It takes time to realize that I belong. It took me 3 years in college to realize, man, that I'm just as smart as these other people that's in this classroom. For 3 years, that it was just stimuli. For 3 years, I struggled with the thought and the belief that I could really do all things through him who strengthens me. And I spent the first 3 years trying to prove how I belong. It was just stimuli. It was never meant, oh man, it's a bread-breaking moment. It's a bread-breaking moment. Listen, man, oh my God. We're always stuck somewhere between our deity and our humanity. How we process stimuli ultimately determines how successful I'm going to be in life. How I determine what lens the stimuli passes through determines will diabetes really have my leg amputated? Will cancer really takes me out? It was only stimuli. Well, we think we see cancer. And the moment we heard the word cancer, we ran with it like, oh my God, I got cancer. You didn't have cancer. It was only stimuli. It didn't become your diabetes or your cancer until you received the stimuli. I don't care if my A1C is 10. You got diabetes. No, I ain't got diabetes. I'm going to take my medicine. I'm going to eat right. I'm getting that A1C back below 6.5 in my near future because it was never mine. I was not born with it. I am the healed of God, maintaining my health. I do not accept that diagnosis. I'm going to diet, exercise, eat me some salads, and drink me some water because that is not mine. And it was only stimuli. And mainly, I got this stimuli because I spent the last 10 years, 15 years eating hamburgers and French fries and that kind of stuff. And now my past is now catching up to my future. Now, in order for me to take that stimuli and change it, I got to start making new behaviors. I got to start. Here's the thing about stimuli. Here's the thing about stimuli. It's neither positive or negative. It determines on how we internalize it. It determines on on what lens we filter it through. One person can get a diagnosis of type 2 diabetes, make the adjustments. Come on, Angelique. One person can get a diagnosis of type 2 diabetes and say, oh my God, my sugar is messed up. Oh my God, I know when it happened to my aunt had sugar diabetes. They had to cut off her leg, cut off her ankle. And we go into that downward spiral of that diagnosis. And then another person can get diagnosed on the same day. You have type 2 diabetes, got diagnosed the same day. Ask the question, okay, what do I need to do to get rid of it? What do I need to do? What adjustments do I need to make in order to get my numbers back in line? Matter of fact, where does normal lie? And so they go now into this whole deep dive into how to normalize my blood sugars again. How motivational teacher, two people with the same diagnosis. One is probably going to have an amputation because that's how that person internalized the stimuli. And the other person is going to probably get their numbers back in range and lose the diagnosis. Why motivational teacher? Because of how they internalize the stimuli. It was neither positive or negative. It just triggered a physical or behavioral change. It's neither pause. I know, man. I know this is new thinking. This is a new thought. I know this is information that you don't get everywhere else. But let me tell you what I do know. That there's a treasure hidden in these earthen vessels. There are treasures hidden in these earthen vessels that most people never uncover or discover that treasure because they allow external stimuli to dictate the vision of how they see themselves. I started this conversation. I don't know who was on here when I started this conversation. I started this conversation saying, man, Homo sapien, male, female alike, only have one problem. Not seeing themselves how the great I am sees them. There is a reason why he said that you are made in my image and in my likeness. I want you to see me how, no, let me say this. I want you to see you how you see me. You're made in my image and in my likeness. My sons, they're made in my image and my likeness. I can't look on them and they can't look on me without me seeing me in them and without them seeing them in me. That's a bread-breaking moment right there. That's a bread-breaking moment right there. They're bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. I can't, no matter how many years we live on this earth, no matter how many surgeries they go through, they can't separate that they are a part of me. And I can't separate when I look on them. I got to see bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. My oldest one got the same shaped head as me. My youngest one got this same beautiful bottom lip. All of this on my youngest one look like me. I can't help but look at it and say bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. They're made in my image and they're made in my likeness. Complete different personality. Complete different personalities. Not trying to make them a knockoff copy of who I am, but I can't help but look and realize that everything that makes me me is on the inside of them. Everything, all the stuff that's on the inside of me that makes me who I am is the same stuff that's on the inside of them that makes them who they are. If you pull my test and pull their test, I guarantee you look at them, they look very similar. Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. You're made, man, the great I am told you, you're made in my image, you're made in my likeness. Me and my Father are one. When you see me, you've already what? Seen the Father. There is a treasure in these earthen vessels. We never uncover the treasure because of how we manage stimuli. It's a bread-breaking moment. That's a bread-breaking moment. The promises are always conditional. If I, the promises are always conditional. Father, help my eyes to see me as you see me. Come on, Pat. Come on, Pat. If I could only see myself through the lens of which the great I am sees me, it changes the manifestation. It changes my relationship to stimuli upon this earth. He told you, listen, he told you the things that you see are temporal, but the things you cannot see is what's eternal. And guess what stimuli is? Stimuli is always temporal. It determines on which lens we pass that stimuli through. Our decision making determines our success upon this earth. Man, the moment we get to the place where I believe that there's a treasure somewhere deep down on the inside of me, when I believe that my life means so much more upon this earth, when I believe that I've been given for a time such as this, when I believe that I've been groomed, that I'm fearfully and I'm wonderfully made, as I start internalizing that as my new stimuli, as I start internalizing that as my new North Star, That's the compass for my life. I call it my North Star because I pass everything through that lens. I pass everything that all things work together. Oh my God, that's a whole nother level of how to work through stimuli. All things work together for my good. That's a whole nother way of how to, a whole nother lens of how to work through external stimuli, how to decipher external stimuli. All things work together for my good. What if we use that as our new lens to pass external stimuli? Oh my God. I know I didn't get the promotion, but that gotta work for my good. Yep. I know the house was on fire, but it gotta work to my good. I know listen, I hurt right now every day that I lost my dad, but I know it has to work for I know right now, I know my son is sick. I know right now my kids are going through some things right now, but I gotta believe that it's working for my good. And I can't approach this as somebody who is angry, somebody who's upset, somebody who's emotional. I can't run this through the lens of my natural man. I can't run this through the lens of my humanity. I got to run it through the lens of my deity, because I know that it has to work for my good. I don't have to lie. I don't have to steal. I don't have to cheat. I don't have to backbite. I don't have to put people down in order to get to my wealthy place, because I know that there's a hidden treasure on the inside of me. I don't have to tear that person down because my hidden treasure is in me. My hidden treasure is not in the person across from me. I don't have to tear that person down in order to get my hidden treasure. He put it the only place where it matters, and it's me versus me. Oh my God, that's a bread-breaking moment. That is a bread-breaking moment. My new North Star is all these things must work for my good. All these things, all the trials, all the tribulations, I like this, all these light afflictions are but only a moment, but these two shall work together for my good. There's a mighty warrior. He didn't know he was a mighty warrior. There's a treasure in his earthen vessel. Inside of the farmer was a mighty warrior. Man, look at that right there. Inside of a guy hiding in the wine press, sifting through wheat, inside of the guy hiding was a mighty warrior. Look at that right there. That's a bread-breaking moment. There's a hidden treasure in all of us. Who would have thought that the person that hid underneath the porch when he was 8, that was hiding because his mom was being abused, was hiding underneath the porch, who would have known that the same guy that used his imagination to escape the reality of his life would be the same imagination that now is Tyler Perry Studios? Who would have thought that there was a mogul inside of the guy hiding underneath the porch? Oh, there's a treasure in these hidden vessels. Who would have thought, oh my God, who would have thought that Terry Crews, I'm going to use Terry Crews, who mom was beat, and Terry Crews said, I only started, Ray Lewis, same story, I only started working out because my mom was being abused, and I said at some point my dad would never hit my mom again. Who would have thought that inside of that angry kid, he said when he was 30, his dad hit his mom, he beat his dad almost till he couldn't breathe no more. Thought he was going to jail for prison, and he left there bloody, still feeling unfulfilled. Left there bloody, still unfulfilled, and had to go apologize, make all the amends, and now he's a free man because he understood that everything that he saw growing up was just stimuli. My response to the stimuli determines my ultimate success. Who would have thought that angry little kid now would be the guy that's with a beautiful family and that do marriage seminars across the world? Who would have thought that that treasure was in that earthen vessel? My question is to you, what treasure? Feed, baby, feed. Come on. I'm going to break this bread. What treasure is on the inside of you that we've allowed to lie dormant because of external stimuli, because that it triggered a physical or behavior change on the inside of us that caused us not to believe through the lens of my deity, and it caused me to walk through the lens of my humanity. What was it? What has that treasure on the inside of you lying dormant? I love it, Coach T. What good could come from Louisville? What good? Tell me this. I want to know. I want to know what treasure is hiding on the inside of you that you are afraid. DeMarco said it earlier, that you're fearful. What treasures land on the inside of you that you thought you were less than because of something you went through, or you thought you were less than because of what somebody said about you? You thought you were less than because of some external stimuli. That stimuli was never meant for you to subconsciously believe the way you do about yourself. It was stimuli to reveal to you what was truly on the inside of you. Oh my God, that's a bread-breaking moment. External stimuli, I was supposed to get into types of responses. Never got into that. I guess we'll do that next week. External stimuli was never meant to break you. Conversely, it was meant to help uncover that treasure that's hidden deep down in you, the earthen vessel. Man, I'll tell you what I do know. That there's treasures looking at me right here tonight. That there's a mighty warrior deep down on the inside of that farmer. I don't know what your external occupation is. I don't know what you're doing right now in your life. But what I do know is that there's a treasure deep down on the inside of you. That he's hidden it deep down on the inside of you. And I do believe that there's no, right now, let's take this moment. This moment is external stimuli. I think God uses every moment, everything at his disposal to uncover the greatness that's on the inside of you. If it didn't work for you, if it didn't go the way you thought it was supposed to, even that works together for your good. You gotta know, man, the great I am is more concerned about uncovering that earthen treasure than he is about your feelings. Man, this one was a bread. Thank you, Angelique. Powerful. Thank you, Angelique. Tonight was a bread-breaking moment, man. This is one of these motivational Mondays on a Tuesday that is completely life-changing. This one right here, if we learn how to manage external stimuli, if we learn how to make decisions from our deity and not our humanity, and I know these are deep, like Pat said earlier, these are conversations that are very deep and very deep in thought. These are conversations that many people shy away from. Like, I know a lot of motivational speakers, a lot of motivational teachers, and I say even a lot of pastors, they like to throw a lot of scriptures, and they like to throw a lot of quotes, and they like to throw a lot of word, commitment, dedication, work harder. They like to throw a lot of these different acronyms at you or scriptures at you to try to get you going, inspiration in this moment of time. And I think all of it has its place. All of it has its place. But I'm telling you, stuff like tonight, that when it talk about dividing the bone from the marrow, that's what this conversation does. It divides the bone from the marrow. You need, I'm listening to what your boy is saying. Like, you're looking for everything outside to get you from where you want to be. And I'm telling you, it's not going to come from outside. It's going to come from within. I need the banks. I need the friends. I need the money. I need the cars. I need the houses. I need the loans. I need this. I need that. No, you don't need that. You need to know who you are and whose you are. And you can manifest, and all these other things will be added unto you. You can look at the people up this list, man. We started with nothing. There's people on this list move cross country with nothing. Other people on this list that in the midst of doing this fight lost jobs, spouses, kids. Like, it's a grind. Welcome to life. But it's all, and my mom tell me all the time, I'm not trying to be void of feelings. I'm not trying to be senseless. I'm not trying to say your feelings don't matter. But what I am saying, keep moving forward. What I am saying is keep moving forward. I know we've had some setbacks. I know it hurt. We've had some pain. We had some flaws. We've made some bad decisions. We said some things we shouldn't have said. I know. But by all means, keep moving forward. Don't get stuck in mediocrity. Don't get stuck in that one snapshot of your life. Keep moving forward. Boy, that's a bread-breaking moment tonight. Man, I'm telling y'all right now for myself, I'm going back listening to this 5-6 times myself. I challenge you to do the same thing. Man, y'all have been a phenomenal audience tonight. Thank y'all for chiming in this conversation. Your boy, I need to pop on here again because we still got to have more conversation on external stimuli. If that's something you want to hear, see, y'all shout that out down in the chat box. Say, hey, holla at your boy. You want your boy to pop back on here? And I never did get to these types of responses to environmental or to external stimuli. Never got to those. Still got more to come. All right. Still got more to come. But I love what Vanika just said. Still pushing through it all. We gotta keep pushing, man. And not for me not to sound sensitive. I've been told that I'm not very sensitive. I've been told that I don't take people's feelings into account as strongly as I should. I'm not denying that. I can be better in that area. But trust me, the end result of it all is keep moving forward. There's a treasure on the inside of you. Y'all have been a phenomenal audience. And until next time, I am challenging you to wage war on mediocrity. Your boy is out.
It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war against mediocrity. It